Sean Salisbury, my former colleague from ESPN, now with ESPN Radio down in Houston, also with SB Nation Radio, joining us here on the Morning Run, I believe making his debut. How are you, Sean?
I'm doing awesome. Honored to be on with you, Michael. Always one of the class great people. I'm proud of you, and I missed you and Alexa. Great to be on with you guys. And, yes, it's my first time on, and hopefully I won't screw it up enough to make it my last. So thank you guys for having me on, and happy holidays to everybody.
Of
Yes,
course,
you too. No. This is going to be the first of many, we hope. Let's start off with a team right there in your backyard. You saw the game, 21-20. The Texans beat the Jaguars. And I noticed on Twitter that you tweeted, and I quote, that during the game the Texans offense was seventh grade stuff and that a quarterback change needed to be made. Well, what do you know? Bill O'Brien must have been paying attention, and he did indeed make the move from Brock Osweiler to Tom Savage. My question to you, Sean, is what took so long?
Yeah, great question, Michael. And, I might have been giving him a little bit too much of a break by calling him a seventh grade offense. I probably could have called him a third grade, and I might have got away with something. But, I think it's probably 4 or 5 weeks too late. Now, I like Brock. I do. I think he's got a lot of mechanical work to do. And on our local show here at ESPN, it's been constant banter because he gets so elongated. And so when you're 6'7", 6'8", trying to be compact and get the ball out on time becomes a problem. But when you watch the difference in the two, it's obvious, and Bill can't start anybody but Savage if they want to continue to have a chance, because this is a team that, get to the postseason, but their offense is so elementary, and I don't know if that's the fact that Brock limited it or Bill O'Brien played not to lose as opposed to playing to win, but you saw the difference. Savage is a better passer in the pocket. He's got far more. Sometimes you just can't teach pocket awareness to quarterbacks. And Tom seems to understand when to throw it out of bounds. I mean, the accuracy both to the left and the right. And there was just an added energy, something. It's been pathetic to watch this year. And I know it's a tough job as a coach. And trust me, I know what average is because I was average for the 10 years I played. I get it so I could see it. There was never any. They could never sustain drive after drive after drive. And they hadn't scored 30 points in a game all year long. Now that's saying something,
wow.
And that is seventh grade stuff. So Savage gives them a better chance. He's more accurate underneath on the simple throws, and there was just an added energy. And if you want to have a chance not only to get to the playoffs with Tennessee right there, and to even have a chance to win, you got to have the guy who uses the whole field and uses it efficiently. Tom Savage, and I know it's $72 million. It just makes you think that the reason why that they didn't make this switch earlier is because of the $72 million. You have to start Tom Savage, or you're telling the teammates and your coaching staff that you're not all in. Tom Savage has to be the quarterback.
Well, and Osweiler's just 1 year into that 4-year, $72 million contract. What do the Texans do with Osweiler?
That's a great question, Lex. And for me, I'm not willing to quit on a guy after really when you think about his 7 games in Denver and what happened, this year. It's basically a full season of play. We've seen guys do this. I mean, heck, Aikman was 0-11 as a rookie, and I know Osweiler's not a rookie. John Elway struggled, and Peyton Manning led interceptions. I'm not by any stretch comparing Brock Osweiler to them, but we got to give a guy a chance to grow into a position. And sometimes taking a step back, and looking at somebody else do it, you get a different perspective of exactly the sacrifices that have to be made to be a great quarterback in this league. There's a lot of guys that can be just guys, average guys. And maybe Brock needs to understand that even though $72 million was put on the table and you got it, that doesn't make you a sacred cow. The greatest players at this position I've ever seen always worked and prepared the hardest. I'm not saying he doesn't, but there's another level to get to. So with that money, sometimes you just got to chalk it up and say, we missed, because people miss all the time. But I think what he's got to do is reevaluate, stay ready this year in case something happens to Savage, work hard in the offseason. I don't think as a franchise you can cut him and lose all that money right now. Now, there may be somebody out there who wants him, but the resume doesn't say he's going to be a hot commodity. You got to keep him and just chalk it up and hope it works out, because as you guys both know, you usually need 2 quarterbacks at some point during the year. So now it's Brock Osweiler's turn to sit back and be ready. We've seen this movie at other teams before. It's an expensive movie, mind you, and especially if it's an expensive one that turns out to be a bust. But right now it's Brock Osweiler's time to help Tom Savage stay prepared, because you never know when they're going to need you for a series or a game. But right now, if you look at the front office, you say the Texans missed on this. But I'm never willing to quit or call a guy a superstar after 1 year or call a guy a bust after 1 year. But right now, it looks like Brock Osweiler's got a lot to do to keep that job or to even stay on this team and get this job back.